Okay, so last week we discussed about your fossil fuel. Okay, so we will going to continue our discussion about your fossil fuel. So remember, we have three types of fuels: your coal, your petroleum gas, and your oil shell. Okay, again, settle down. Settle down first. Okay, quiet. Okay. Okay, now everyone settle down. Okay, listen. So again, let's continue our discussion about fossil fuel. So remember, we have three fuels, three types. So there are petroleum gas, your coal, and your oil shell. Okay, again. So this is the last topic that we discussed last week. Again, we have your petroleum, coal, and your oil shell. So these are your fossil fuel. So again, we have your coal, the different types of coal in the carbon that they contain. Again, okay, if you remember, we discussed last week your types of coal. So these are types of coals and amount of carbon in the types of coals. Again. So, okay. Now we will continue our discussion to your, okay, if you remember again, how many carbon in PEEP? We have your 20%. In your lignite, we have your 35 to 20 to 35%. Your subbituminous, we have your, oh no, you have your 35 to 45%. And your bituminous, we have your, and your anthracite is 80% of carbon. Now we will continue our discussion for your oil shell. Again, when we say oil shell, listen, it's a fine-grained sediment, tarry rock that is rich in kerosene. So this one is rich in kerosene. When we say kerosene, it is a waxy, insoluble organic. Okay, it means it's like a shiny one, waxy. Okay, so that is insoluble organic. So organic matter found in sedimentary rock that breaks down and release hydrocarbon when it's heated. Okay, when it's heated or hot. Again, when it's heated or hot. So it released, okay, release the hydrocarbon. So example types of oil shell, we have this one. It's like a moisture, or it's like a shiny types of, it's not rock but it looks like rock, but this one is a smooth one, and some of these are, they have this kind of oil shell. Again, if you see, they are some of them like it's shiny and some is like moisture, but it looks like rocks, but it's not a rocks. Okay, so this is what you call your oil shell. So again, oil shell and your kerosene are fossil fuels. They are formed from the remain of dead organism. Again, so these are from your dead organism. So it means it been stuck for 1,000,000 years ago. So long, long ago. So that is where they get our oil shell. So this type of organism is died where it buried under the layer of sediments. Okay, it means it's already buried and then it produced what? It produced your oil shell. Again, it produced your oil shell. From what? From the remains of dead organism. Again, so oil shell produced from the dead organism. So it will be form your oil shell. So this is the example of your oil shell. Okay. So it means it be buried for 1,000,000 years ago. So that is oil shell. Okay. So did organism decomposed, okay? Decompose, slowly transform into waxy substance called kerogen. Again, remember, it's waxy. That means it looks like what? When we say waxy, it's like a sticky one, but some of them are shiny one. Okay? So that is waxy substance called kerogen. So under the ground, so they more pressure over more geological time. So it means the kerogen, again, when the kerogen is heat up to release your crude oil. Again, to release your crude oil. So the kerogen is heat up and then release your crude oil and your natural gas. Okay? Release crude oil and your natural gas. Just remember, pressure over more geological time from your kerogen that is heat up or hot, it will produce or release your crude oil and your natural gas. Again, natural gas. So when oil shell extract, it is heated to about, okay, we have your 500 degrees Celsius. So imagine it is very hot. Okay, so when oil shell extracted into heated to about 500 to release your oil called shell oil or your oil shell. Okay, again, it called oil shell or your shell oil. Okay, but some of the oil shell that has been ash, you know what is ash? Have you seen ash? Have you tried to burn the wood? And then when it's, yes, there is like a brown gray color that is ash. Okay, so some of this oil shell has it ash mixed with cement to make it concrete. So some of the oil shell are cement. For example, for this one, you build a building or this room. So we use the ash or the ash that mix with the cement to make concrete. So this is the example. So imagine oil shell also produce ash to make concrete. And of course, we have oil shell is used in electricity generation. Okay, again, oil shell is used in electricity generation. So these are the example of your oil shell from the heat up of your kerogen. Again, from the heat up of your kerogen. So we have next. Okay. Again, remember the first one is your coal, the second is your oil shell, and the third is your petroleum or your petroleum gas. When we say petroleum, a mixture of hydrocarbons found beneath the Earth's surface that can be refined into fuel. Okay, again, that can be refined into fuel. It is found in underground. So it means this type of petroleum gas is found in your underground. Okay, or below the surface. So reservoir that can be extracted through drilling. So this one is called drilling. Okay, it's like digging the ground, so underground. So it occurs as a solid, liquid, or gas. Again, it occurs from your solid, liquid, or gas. So depending on its composition, pressure, temperature, and receiver where it is accumulate. So for example, okay, so this is how you take your petroleum gas. Okay, so this one is you call your drill bit, okay, and drill pipe. So this one is your drill bit. In this one, the line one is your drill pipe. Where is the petroleum go up? Okay, and then so this type is your Collie blowout preventer. This one. Oh, by the way, so this one is the one who make the machine moving. Okay, so this is how you take or get the petroleum gas. Okay, so example of process of petroleum into several products. So we have your number one, your cooking gas. Of course, they are all, this one is also cooking gas. The benzene also one of the cooking gas, but I think it's high. It's very high in gas. So, and your kerosene, of course, this one. This one is used, some of this uh, in airplane. Do you know what is airplane? Yeah, they use kerosene. And of course, diesel for your car. Okay, or truck, so that is diesel. And bunker fuels. You know what is bunker fuels? Have you seen it's like a black oil that is have you seen that in a can? In a can, the oil, the gas that is color black. Some of them used for cleaning the tools, for example, the tools of motor or bike, they use it for cleaning, the black one. That is your bunker fuels. It looks like a black one gas that is very bad smell, but it used for shining or cleaning. And also your asphalt. So this one used for making what? This one is just for making the roads. Okay, so this one is asphalt. Okay, so this one is your, again, we have your cooking gas, benzene, kerosene, diesel, bunker fuels, and your asphalt. So these are your example of process of petroleum into several products. Next, we have your, okay, so petroleum, listen, a fossil fuel formed mainly from marine organisms. So it means they are from marine organism. When we say marine, it's mean in the ocean. Okay, marine. So from a million of years ago, marine animals and plants died and buried under the ocean floor or deep of the ocean. Okay, it means from the dead marine organism such as animals and plants that died, they buried under the ocean floor. So for example, this one. So this is looks like this, they will get the petroleum. It looks like a, what do you call this one? It's like a machine that they have to stay here for what? For taking or for making the petroleum gas. So marine organisms were covered by several layers of sediment. So because of a million years ago, organisms that died or plants, they have been covered by several layers of sediments from the deeper ocean. So it means it's a very deep of the ocean. So the high pressure and the temperature is transformed to remain into your natural gas and your crude oil. So it means from the pressure and the temperature, it remains into natural gas and crude oil. So trap layers for porous rocks. So these one are trapped or trapped layers into your porous rock. Okay, for example, so porous rock, it contains empty space in which fluids such as compressed air can be stored. So this is example of porous rock. So have you seen this one? These types of rocks? Have you tried or have you seen this one? Okay, so this is your porous rock. That means has an empty space in which fluids such as compressed air can be stored. Okay, so this is the example. So we have here for 1,000,000 years ago, from 300 to 400 million years ago, this is what you see in the ocean. So aquatic plants and animals died and buried on the ocean floor by the layers of the sand and silt. Okay, so when they died, it be formed, okay, it be buried in your layers of sand and soil. Then after 50 to 100 million years ago, layers of sediments are deposited above, and the pressure and heat causes compaction to the remains. So from the dead plants and animals, they have this heat causes compaction of the remains. And then from the remains of the animals and plants, so for the present time today, they will have discovered the petroleum. Okay? So we discovered the petroleum by those organisms, for those dead organisms in marine, aquatic, or your marine organism. Okay. So from today or present time, so today or your present time, the remains became oil and gas. Okay, so they become gas, oil, so which are forced out to porous rock to form deposits which will drill for. So again, so which will drill for. So this is the example of your, okay, so this is the example of the present time. Okay. So we have your, okay. So petroleum is a found in under the pockets called reservoir. When we say reservoir, it's like a storage. Okay? It's like a storage that is your reservoir. So petroleum, okay, listen. So petroleum can be also trapped in structural trap. So we have which is formed when layers of rocks are bent. Again, when layers of rocks are bent or folded by shifting the tectonic plate. So also trap is a stratigraphic trap. So we have your first trap. So again, anticline trap is a subsurface area where rock layers have been folded into a dome shape. Okay, so it looks like the anticline trap is like a subsurface that is a dome shape. Okay, it's like curving. So this one is your rock oil, and this one is your natural gas. Again, so a layer of permeable rock in this dome shapes, petroleum can be accumulate to pick off the anticline. Okay, so this is the example of anticline trap. Next we okay. Next we have your fault trap. So forms when impermeable layers of rock split along the fault line. So this one, it looks like again, it looks like the rock has been faulted. Okay, they are moving. When we say faulted, it's like they are moving. Okay, it's like they are moving. So, causes the permeable reservoir rocks to be adjacent. So, it means it would be adjacent or adjust. Okay. So, impermeable rock preventing petroleum gas from moving. Again, so this one, they will preventing or prevent the moving of petroleum gas. Again, they are preventing the moving of petroleum gas. So example, this is your fault. This line is your fault. Okay, take a look at the projector. Okay, this one, this line is your fault. This is your rock oil. This one is your natural gas. To this layer, we have your impermeable shale clay. Okay, we have your porous reservoir rock and your source rock. Okay, so this layer. And this one is your rock oil and natural oil. And this one is the one who take your oil or your petroleum. Okay. We have also your salt dome. So we have your salt dome trap. So this one is a form when ground salt, which is lighter than most rocks, moves. Okay, this one is lighter than other rocks moves. So it has the upward slope or upward salt can deform and breaks rocks. So this salt crosses a layer of permeable rock which petroleum will trap will trap the petroleum gas. So this one, okay. So this one is a salt dome. Okay, again. This one is your salt dome. So it means it will trap your petroleum gas. Okay, listen. Okay, quiet. Okay, listen. So it means it will trap. So this part is your rock oil. In this part is your natural gas. So it will be trapping your petroleum gas because of the salt dome. Okay, again, it will trap the petroleum gas. And it has a upward slowly. So upward can be deformed and breaks the rock. Again, so it can be deformed or breaks the rock. So it can be breaks the rock. So that is your salt dome trap. Again, that is your salt dome trap. Okay, next we have your stratigraphic trap. Okay. When we say stratigraphic trap, it's formed as a result of disposition of different types of sediments. Again, disposition of different types of sediments. So when sediments are deposited in this continuous layer, impermeable or low permeability shell can be deposited around your reservoir. Okay, listen. So it means around your reservoir. So this form as impermeable rock layers that can be trapped petroleum. Okay, so this one is the layer of your stratigraphic trap. So if you look at this one, this is your natural gas. This down is your rock oil. Okay, again, it won't be trap your petroleum. So they have these different types of sediments. Again, we have your, okay, we have your four traps. The first one is your, okay, the first one is your anti, okay, everyone, the first one is your anticline trap. Next, we have your fold trap, salt dome trap, and your last, we have your, okay, everyone, stratigraphic trap. Okay, everyone. Stratigraphic trap. Stratigraphic trap. Okay. Okay, you have to exercise your reading. Okay, so that is your four traps. Okay. So petroleum exists in two forms. Again, petroleum exists in two forms. We have your crude oil and your natural gas. Again, we have your crude oil and your natural gas. So when we say crude oil, so this one is your crude oil. The second picture is your natural gas. Okay, so crude oil exists in liquid, in subsurface trap, and remains as liquid. Okay, it drops from, you know what is subsurface drop, right? The four drops. Okay. It means this one. So this one example is your crude oil. Okay. So example that is your crude oil. It said from the liquids, subsurface drops, it will be the same or remain liquid. Okay. Crude oil from liquid, still liquid. Okay. From liquid, remain as liquids. So when brought to the surface after the crude oil extracted. Again, after the crude oil extracted. So the process in refineries where different parts of crude oil are separated into usable petroleum products. Okay, so we have your, okay, what are the usable petroleum products? We have first your gasoline, cooking gas, lubricating, lubricating. Okay, everyone, lubricating oils. Okay, lubricating oil. So these are the usable. Okay, this one is usable petroleum products. We have your gasoline, cooking gas, and your lubricating oil. So this is the example. Okay, so components of crude oil have different molecular weights and boiling points. Again, they have their different molecular weights and boiling points. So components of crude oil can be separated through a process called fractional distillation. Again, so this one is your fractional distillation. So this is what you called the process, fractional distillation. So before the crude oil is refined, water and other contaminants are removed from leaving only the hydrocarbon. Okay, only the hydrocarbon. So during the refining process, crude oil, again, it heated until it's boiled and turning into vapor. Now we have your fractional distillation. Okay, take a look at the picture. Okay, from petroleum gas, we have, of course, your cooking gas. Very good. And for your petroleum, we have again your car. From naphtha, we have your chemicals. From kerosene, used by jet fuels, okay? And diesel used by truck. Lubricating, this one is a oil waxy, okay? So this one is your, okay, listen. So this one is your oil waxy polishes. So this one, it makes a shiny. And fuel oil, okay, for the ship. Again, fuel oil for the ship. And bitumen is for your roads and roofing. Okay, so this one used from your roads and roofing. So we have for refinery gas, we have your 20 degrees Celsius. And petroleum, we have your 70 degrees Celsius. Your naphtha, we have your 120 degrees Celsius. Your kerosene is 170 degrees Celsius. Okay, boys at the back, listen. Your diesel is 270 degrees Celsius. Your lubricating is oil, okay? And your bitumen is 340 degrees Celsius. So this is the example of fractional distillation. Okay, this is the example of fractional distillation. Okay, we have also your natural gas. Okay, okay, boys, listen. We have your natural gas. Okay, so from hydrocarbon gas mixture, it consisting mostly of methane. Okay, when we say methane, we have the colorless odor or highly flammable gas. Again, it has, when we say odorless, it has its smell. Okay? So colorless. When we say colorless, they don't have color. Okay? They don't have color. So colorless odor are highly flammable gas. So commonly contains other as hydrocarbons such as your ethane, propane, and butane. So this one is your methane. This one is your ethane. This one is your propane. And this one is your butane. So have you seen these types of natural gas? Have you seen this one in person? Okay. Methane? Of course, you see. Butane? Yes. How about what is one? The propane. Ano? Yes. Ano? The ethane. Have you seen this one? Not yet. Okay. But this one, and this one, I know you already see these types of natural gas. Again, it has a smell, odorless. When we say colorless, it means they don't have color. And of course, this is a highly flammable gas. It's also very dangerous types of gas. Okay. Okay, when natural gas is extracted from gas or crude oil, the receiver contains your water vapor, sulfur, helium, nitrogen, hydrogen sulfide, and your carbon dioxide. Again, extracted from gases, what they contains? Okay, they contains your sulfur, helium, nitrogen, hydrogen sulfide, and your carbon dioxide. So listen, so most of this will remove from natural gas before it used. If they have this sulfur, helium, nitrogen, hydrogen sulfide, and carbon dioxide, dioxide, they will remove or take it away. Okay? Remove. Listen. It will remove or take it away to form, okay, from natural gas before we use. Okay, before use, they will remove your sulfur, your helium, nitrogen, hydrogen sulfide, and your carbon dioxide. So natural gas divided into two. We have your dry natural gas and your wet natural gas. Again, we have divided into two. What are the two natural gas and your wet natural gas? Okay. So dry natural gas, okay, listen, composed mostly of methane. So this one, when we say dry natural gas, this is composed mostly of methane. So this one is methane. So contains a very little condensate of liquid. So it is used least processing before use as fuel. Okay. So this one is your dry natural gas. We have, of course, your with natural gas. Okay, has some of, okay, they have also the methane, a good quantity and heavier compounds of ethane, propane, or butane. Okay, so this has a good quantity and heavier compound. So they have this heavier compound. So we have your ethane, propane, or butane. So it is a process to remove these heavy compounds before use as fuels. Again, they will also remove these heavy compounds. These compounds, they were going to remove or take it away before use as fuel. Again, before we use as fuel. So this is your compounds. Okay, this is a very good quantity and heavier compound. So they will remove the heavy compounds before use as fuel. So these are the example. Again, take a look at the picture. You have your methane, your propane, your ethane, and your butane. Again, with natural gas, remove the heaviest compounds before use in fuels. Okay. What are the four traps? We have first your anti-claim trap, your fold trap, your salt dome trap, and your stratigraphic traps. And okay. And petroleum, they have exist two form. What are the two form? We have your crude oil and very good. We have your crude oil and your natural gas. Okay. From usable petroleum products, we have your gasoline, cooking gas, and lubricating oils. And okay, this one we call it your fractional distillation. Okay, so this picture we call it your fractional distillation. And okay, your natural gas, and of course, natural gas divided into two types. We have your dry natural gas and your wet natural gas. Again, what are the three types of fossil fuel? If you remember, what are the three types of fossil fuel? Fuel, fossil fuels. We have your Okay, again, fossil fuel, we have your very good. We have your petroleum gas, coal, and oil. So that is our topic for today. So we have already discussed the three fossil fuels. So again, petroleum, coal, and your oil shell. So next week we will be discussing about the energy. Okay. So any question? Any question? Okay. Don't have question? Do you understand? So, okay, I will just send this to our line group, the PowerPoint. And okay, you study. We will have next week activity about fossil fuel. Again, we will have your activity next week about fossil fuel. So I will just send this PowerPoint and try to study this weekend. So okay. So these are all for today. Thank you. Again, these are for today. Thank you. Okay.